Hello, my beautiful friends. Happy New Year. Happy January. It is so exciting to be in this new energy of 2018. And man, has the year already gotten off on a pretty busy start. So many of you guys have reached out for readings, and I've just met some of the most incredible souls. Even just in the last few days, it's been just such an honor to be able to do private readings for you. It literally stirs my soul and lights my heart, and I'm just so grateful that to be able to meet so many of you in this capacity that I never thought I actually would be doing. I never thought I'd have a YouTube channel, so thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the January reading for the Divine Masculine right now. I feel like there's so much, there's been some incredible readings coming through for my private clients. So I wanted to do one for the collective and see what energies are coming up. Now, accompanying us today is one of my favorites. It's a clear quartz cluster that I love because to me it's like the twin flames and then the union energy. I just think it's so beautiful. And always gemstones. I always start every reading with the gemstone because you should see the collection we have in our home here, and it's a big part of my work, and I just love how they help to amplify the energies. So I've already meditated and pre-shuffled and connected to my guides and the Ascended Masters and Archangels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Zadkiel, Metatron, all of the light beings here to support the clearest messages coming through for anybody who's watching this reading. And it is my intention that however you have stumbled across this reading, that you get an important message that is intended for you. At least one message that is something that will help improve and give you clarity on whatever situation you're wondering about. And these are general readings, so please do take what resonates and what doesn't. We have a lot of people watching, and there can be different scenarios that come up that may or may not apply to you. So whatever messages make sense to you, take those to heart, and always use your own intuition, of course. Never rely on myself or any other reader to really, always listen to your own intuition first. So we're going to look at the Divine Masculine right now for January of 2017. Okay. So the first card is how he's feeling about his Divine Feminine, and we get the Queen of Air. Second is how he's feeling about the relationship, and we get the Queen of Earth. The next is what is his current challenge here in January, and that's the Six of Water. I think that came up in the December masculine reading for in this exact same position. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so the next is what is currently hidden from you. It's the Five of Earth. The next is what does he want you to know? What does he want his Divine Feminine to know? And we get the Emperor. And the next is what is he currently doing towards union right now? What is his current, what is his actions, or what is he currently doing towards union? And we get Awakening. Beautiful. So we get two major arcanas here at the end. And the energy at the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Fire. This is his overall energy for the month of January. So the Seven of Fire is somebody who is standing his ground, somebody who is having to stand up for what they believe in, and they're willing to do it. They're fighting off people that have opposing views or don't believe or don't support him and what he wants for his own happiness. This could be anything from friends to family to society's expectations for what he's supposed to do. So that's the overall energy for him coming in for the month of January and kind of overseeing this whole reading. So the first thing I want to look at is how he's seeing his Divine Feminine right now. And he sees her as the Queen of Air. So he really appreciates how independent she is and how accomplished she is. He very much, he sees her as someone who, like, she's she's looking up with just a strong gaze here at this crystal ball, and in it is this magical unicorn. And she's somebody that he also appreciates her sense of humor. So the Queen of Air is somebody that is able to take a bad situation and also just make the best of it, or try to at least not take things so seriously all the time. And she's really good and objective when it comes to decision making. And I think he sees his divine feminine as someone who is able to have that grounded, balanced energy. And I think that's really important, because sometimes this journey can be so far full of ups and downs that it's often like, it can be emotional. But I think the way he sees his feminine is that she's very steady. She's very steady. And she's also realistic. She's not overly emotional. So that's how he's currently seeing her right now. And she's also free of clutter or emotional distractions and drama. That's the other thing about this card. So this is the Queen of Air is somebody that she doesn't have drama in her life. You know, she's pretty even-keeled. She doesn't like drama. She doesn't create drama. And it could be that the Divine Masculine is facing a lot of this drama in his life. I mean, if he's facing the Seven of Fire, there's likely drama and conflict going on and things that he's having to fight. And so in this environment of the Seven of Fire, he's really appreciating this about her. She's got a wisdom born of many life experiences. Some of them are really good and some of them are challenging. And he just sees her as somebody who can just, handle pretty much any situation with poise and grace. So I love that he's seeing her like this, because if he's in this space, then, it's amazing that he can see and appreciate that in her, which of course that's what she embodies, the queen energy. So next is how he's seeing the relationship, and we get the Queen of Earth. So yet another queen, so two queens, and the Earth is really about creating a stable home life, stable financially, but also stable emotionally. This is someone who takes sensible approaches, and so the Queen of Earth is someone who deals with things in a really kind and understanding manner. So she's very warm, she's sensible, she's just such a nurturer. Sometimes the Queen of Earth can be like, she, almost like she gives to the point of not her own detriment, but she just gives to those around her because she's so nurturing. It's just her nature. So the way that he's seeing the relationship is, this says make time for those around you. This feels like he wants to make time for this relationship to develop and to actually spend some time. And he sees her as somebody that doesn't do any drama, and the relationship doesn't really have much drama either in general, So the relationship for him right now it feels like it's like a safe haven for him. And this queen is there's a lot of magic. She's manifesting a lot of coins. So this also could indicate that he's in a place where he's very much focused on creating the stability financially, to be able to present an offer of love to his divine feminine. And of course, divine feminine, the money piece is not, it doesn't matter to her, but I think a lot of the divine masculines still do have that, I want to be able to provide the safety for my queen. I want to be able to provide a nice home and a stable environment to where we as a team are together, and that we're safe and cozy in our little nest. So it's interesting, that came up so much in my readings just yesterday, that particular card. And let me see what other messages are coming through for that one. Yeah, it is. It's what I've just shared, and I'm not seeing anything to here. So the queen is The Queen of Earth is known as the most amazing friend, mother, spouse. She's the one who's the multitasker. She can be someone who's running her own business, tending to the family, and running her own charity at the same time, and spending time on herself too. So, you know, there's a little bit of everything in her and how he's seeing that relationship. And that there can be, in the relationship, there can be a lot of facets and dynamics. You know, there can be the career, there can be the family, there can be the love, there can be the independent things you do together, the independent things you're doing, and then the things you do together. So I think that's a beautiful card. So his challenge here is the Six of Water. And like I said, I believe this was the exact same card he got in December. So he's still facing this challenge, which to me, it's getting the same card in the same position 2 months in a row means this is a really big theme for him right now. And, you know, he's likely dealing with, you know, this is a twin flame card. This is the unconditional love of children. This is a very nostalgic card. And when it's coming up in the challenge position, to me, the meaning for that is more along the lines of, you know, wishing that maybe things had been different in his childhood, or seeing patterns from his childhood that he's healing right now. That could be some of the conflict he's facing. Maybe he's seeing things, especially having been around family in the holidays, that brings up so many emotions, and as much as we love our families, it brings up, like, it's almost like you go back to that time when you weren't an adult. You're like, how am I behaving like this? Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, that when we get around our family of origin, it just gets brought up. So it's likely that he's perhaps noticing patterns of how he was shaped in his family dynamic and how it shaped who he is now. And maybe there's some things about that he wants to change. But ultimately, the sixes are a card of victory. So he will be victorious going through this. But like I said, the fact that it's come up twice now in the same position for him means it's just still an ongoing message. And it's also a very big message. It's a really big theme for him. So what's currently hidden is the Five of Earth. So the Five of Earth is, you may not be aware, but he's having some fears around money and security, job security. And also what's hidden is that he may be needing to have some help from others. Maybe he's being stubborn. Maybe he's actually asking for help. This could be help from friends. This could be help from confidants. This could be help from therapists or even spiritual advisors. I mean, he may be reaching out to get some help and support from people that may help understand or help him go through this journey. And it again could just be that he's just really concerned about financial things right now in his life. So let me see here, what else comes through. It can be that there's, so this indicates potentially lack of financial opportunities and having financial worries, but it also can represent the absence of friends, romance, or opportunities. And what's hidden is he may be focusing on what he doesn't have as opposed to what he wants. And he may, like I said, this says here, it says the Five of Earth indicates that there's help at hand, but we may be too distracted or too proud to ask for it. And it's a temporary situation. So what may be happening is he may be feeling a little bit of doomsday at the moment. You know, it's feeling a little defeated, feeling like he's alone and maybe there's nothing that nobody can help me, but their help is available. So that may be something going on underneath the surface for the Divine Masculine right now. So what he wants you to know, Divine Feminine, is the Emperor card. So this is the card of the man who, this is the Divine Masculine. This is one of the symbols of the Divine Masculine in the Tarot, which is the Emperor. The Emperor and the Empress together, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. I mean, those are twin flame people in the Tarot. And so he wants to be this Emperor. So the Emperor is someone who has gone through, he can really lead. He exhibits leadership, and this coming in this position in this reading feels like, what I'm hearing is he wants to be this person for his divine feminine. He wants you to know that he's going to be this emperor for you. And the fact that it's here, you know, there's an essence of stability with being the number 4 card, but it's also about organization, logic, structure, and discipline. And so he's really wanting to take the lead for the relationship. And he wants to remind the divine feminine that he wants to be this person for her. He may be going through these things right now and not capable of being this, but he's either putting this here as a reminder saying, I want to be this for you. I am on my way to be this for you. And I'm working towards being this for you. So what he is doing towards the union right now is awakening. I love it. So this is a major arcana too. So these two at the bottom here being major arcanas, I think, are pretty significant. And this is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. So this is about being in a place where you're at a temporary standstill. You know, the Hanged Man is taking time to look at things from a different perspective. You know, the looking at things from a different perspective. Also, a major energy here is taking time to pause, to understand the journey that we've been on. There's a real self-reflection here, but there's also no rushing forward, because there's time. It takes time to merit. I always think of this Hanged Man and the Awakening card as like a marinating card. But in this deck, because they've named it Awakening, they haven't called it the Hanged Man, means that this is a sign of the process he needs towards his awakening. Being the Hanged Man will lead towards his awakening more, which is all that's happening more and more and more for the twins right now, is this awakening process. So I love that this came up in that position for the divine masculine in this reading, because I think, you know, it's a very positive forward movement. Even though it's a standstill at the moment, it's moving towards, and it's moving towards movement. That doesn't make much sense, but you know what I mean. It's like a sign that movement forward and upwards is coming. So that's beautiful. So now I want to pull, I'm going to pull 3 energy cards, please, on just some additional messages of the energies around the divine masculine for, whoa, this just flew out. The sun. Okay, there's the first one. I'm going to pull the other 2, please. So I'm going to pull 3 cards on just other messages about the overall energy of the divine masculine at the moment for January 2018. 2 more cards, please, for the energies of the divine masculine for January 2018. What other messages do you have about his overall energy, please? Thank you. And we get the goddess of the moon. So we get the sun. We get the goddess of the moon. And one more, please. I think this one wants to come out. And we get the walking away. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. This is amazing. So the energy is between, so for him right now, he's got the energy of the sun. The sun is a very positive deck. So everything that he's going through right now in his physical world, in his spiritual world, is all leading towards sunshine, positivity. One of the happiest, lightest cards in the deck. You know, traditional tarot, the sun is just an incredible, wonderful sign of good things coming and happiness. And it's the one which is a new beginning. So it's a new beginning of happiness coming for him that's underlying his energy for January. of 2018. I love that. And the it's about just potential. It nurtures and bringing new life into everything. It marks a time of really great creativity. And it's like it symbolizes the birth of a new you and a new project. So January for the Divine Masculine is going to be a very, it's like a turning point month, it feels like to me, because of all the things that have been going through the last many months. And it could be that just brand new year, he's feeling better. But I feel like the energies have shifted. I mean, all the planets are now direct. And this is about abundant blessings. And this is saying that you can create what you want in your life now, that you're supported in that journey. So the next card is the Goddess of the Moon. And this is about his going inward with intuition. This is the Divine Feminine, because the Divine Feminine connects with the energy of the moon, the unconscious, intuition, receptivity, that whole element. And she stretched her arms out, holding the moon up in the nighttime. And it's about receiving insights from your soul's point of view. And so right now, this is what is unfolding for the Divine Masculine. He's very much getting into this place where he's learning to trust his intuition. Trust those messages he's getting that he may have dismissed before as just, oh, that's wishful thinking, or hey, how come I'm thinking this? I don't really, that must be crazy. You know, that's a process of awakening right here that is really important. And she brings you all sorts of information. So this is a reminder for the Divine Masculine that's watching this, that pay attention to the little signs too. Those little coincidences that you just brush off, pay attention to them, because that's the ways that your intuition is speaking to you. And the next card is the Walking Away. And this card came up in a reading I was doing yesterday. And I love this card because this card is about, see this woman, she is dressed in this beautiful, flowy, airy, very feminine dress. And there's a gate here that is very ornate. There's all these flowers hanging. There's this place she's been that's pretty good. You know, it's not a dilapidated old shack. I mean, she's living in a beautiful place. But what she's doing is she's opened the gate and she's walking into the light. You know, she has it pretty good in her life, except she's wanting it all. She's going out there with gusto. So if you can see her face, she's kind of looking at you like, I'm off. Here I go. Watch me do it. And watch what happens. So this is a very empowering card to me. The energy of this card is just so beautiful. It's like, and what's interesting is she's got, looks like she has a piece of jewelry over her third eye. She's wearing like a bit of a headdress with a little jewel on her third eye, which means that his intuition, the Divine Masculine's intuition, is helping him realize that there's more beyond what he's currently aware of, and he wants to move towards it. Move towards this beautiful light, which is the divine love, happiness, abundance, all those things that are possible. So I love that those just came up for him there. That's awesome. Very, very positive cards on those energies as continued messages about him for the January 2018. So now I'm going to pull 3 cards, please, for how he's feeling about his Divine Feminine right now. What are 3 messages, please, for the Divine Feminine from her Divine Masculine? What's he feeling towards her right now in January 2018? 3 cards, please. And we get free yourself. You deserve love. And deception. So I love these 3 together. Here's what's interesting about this. So the Free Yourself card is about time to take back control of your life. The reminder is you deserve love and that someone's wearing a false mask in this relationship. So here's what I love about this Free Yourself card, because you see this unicorn here. This unicorn is trapped. But what can a unicorn do? Unicorn can fly. The unicorn can just fly right out of this thing. But he's feeling like he's trapped. But it's a prison of his own making. And I think that's a lot of the Seven of Fire, the fighting, the trying to deal with the emotions of family, and he feels like he's kind of stuck in this prison a little bit, which is why he's doing the Hanged Man. The awakening. And he's being reminded by the divine that he deserves love. And he's also he's kind of breaking free, wants to get rid of this mask of self-deception. I know a lot of the masculines that have been coming through in my readings have been very much, confining themselves to what the expectations of others have for him and not what he wants to make him happy. So this to me shows that he's realizing that he deserves love because he's been deceiving himself and that he doesn't deserve love or doesn't deserve love in the form that he believes he can have with his divine feminine. And it's up to him to free himself from that place. And he has the power to do it. So, this is a very clear story to me. So he's working on this. Because remember, he sees the Queen of Air as grounded. Queen is very much no drama. And the relationship is the Queen of Earth to him, which is stable, content, warm, creative. So he's working on this right now, Divine Feminine. That was more of a message of, I feel like he wanted you to know what he's doing in the background. I'm going to pull another Romance Angel card. How is the Divine Masculine currently consciously in his 3D feeling about his Divine Feminine? Like, what is he consciously thinking about her? Not like on the higher realms, but what is he aware of on the earthly plane about his Divine Feminine? What message do you have, please? One card. And we get healing family issues. So that is making so much sense. So it feels like he's aware on a conscious level. Like, obviously, if this is more applies to the twins that have likely met each other already in this life, not to the ones that and it could apply to the ones that haven't, but I'm feeling like this is for people who have been going through this. So he's freeing himself from his prison of the family issues. This is just and he's aware of it. He's aware that there's things going on in his family that don't align, that don't support his highest good. And he's trying to figure that out. He's trying to heal them. And so for him, on the conscious level, he's got to learn how to forgive and to kind of just accept and to just make the choices that are best for him and not, not worry what the family believes. I mean, that's a hard one. However, it's he's doing this on a conscious level. And he's aware that this is, until he does this, that it's not right for him to embark on a relationship with his Divine Feminine until this is done. Because this is something they've been working on for a while. This isn't just a new theme that's coming up. But I think he's aware of this, and I think he wants this to be cleared so that he can be his best self for his Divine Feminine. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck. I'm sorry, my legs are hurting today while I'm sitting here. I like doing these readings on the floor, but man, my body sometimes just is like, can we get in a more comfortable position? Anyway, all right, so I'm going to pull now Some advice cards for the Divine Masculine, please, for January 2017. What messages of advice do you have for the Divine Masculine for January? Sorry, I said 2017. I meant 2018. I'm sure I probably even said that earlier in the video. So, but this is January 2018. So what advice do you have, please, for the Divine Masculine? Seeking the truth. So this is about opening up into connecting to your divinity. So see, she's parting the curtains here, and that are the blue, which is the headspace, the back and forth, the ego, and she's opening up to see the light. She's coming out of the darkness and into the light. So the advice for the Divine Masculine is to continue this process, continue seeking your truth for what you're here to do, your truth for what matters to you and your heart, and what you know is possible for you on a soul level. This is about getting more into trusting your intuition versus listening to your head, listening to your fears, because that is the journey of the twins, is it not? To get out of that place of fear and ego and get more into the light of unconditional love. I'm going to pull another one too. What's another message you have, please, for the Divine Masculine for January? What's kind of a piece of advice you have for him, please? Giving and receiving. So this is a card that represents victory in the concept of giving and receiving. So if he's been in a place where there's been an imbalance in the giving and receiving in his life, maybe that's with friendships, maybe that's with family members, maybe that's with karmic partners, maybe that's with his divine feminine, that the balance of see what's happening in this picture. There's all these outstretched hands, all these different colors of the different chakras. And when they're all giving, they're all receiving at the same time. And what's happening is when that energy of giving and receiving is balanced, there's this huge explosion of light in the middle, which just expands the energy field completely. So this is advice for him to look at places in his life where this is out of balance for him, because he's missing out on the incredible abundance and light that can come when giving and receiving is balanced. I think that's a super important message, and it's, likely it's definitely a message for the feminines too, I'll tell you, because that's something that I know we've been talking about a lot. But this is about relationships taking on a loving and balanced energy. And the other aspect of this card is it says you've worked hard to understand yourself and others, and now it's paying off. You're being rewarded with joy and fulfillment. Is there someone in your life who could benefit from what you've learned around the matters of the heart? Take time to share your thoughts. This is just about being a mentor. Look for ways you can be of assistance to those around you, but don't overgive. Don't, it's about being open to receiving support and inspiration from other people. Because remember, we got that here. So that's why the advice is also coming in. Because we got this card here. You might be not wanting to seek advice, but this is saying the advice is to do that, because that's where you're going to have a lot of joy and happiness coming into your life. So, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to end with some advice for the Divine Masculine for January 2018 from Archangel Michael. Michael, what advice do you have for the Divine Masculine for January 2018, please? What advice, please, do you have, Michael, for the Divine Masculine for January 2018? Thank you. Sense of humor. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. because that's what he appreciates about his divine feminine. He loves that she doesn't have drama. She's pretty witty. She keeps her sense of humor even during the hard times. And Michael is reminding the divine masculine to keep his sense of humor going through this, through his awakening, through these 3 amazing cards, but through the challenges. Like, while he's seeking the truth, keep a sense of humor. Don't take things so seriously, because things are heavy. Remember, the overall energy is there's battles happening all over the place. And so during these battles, Michael's like, please just remember, help me see the humor in the situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. And I'm willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. So when he's feeling a little bit down here in that, in the 5 energy here, what's hidden, Michael is just, he's saying, look at your situation in a new sense of humor. Because when we're going through hard times, we're going through these battles, we can sometimes forget that there's good things coming on the other side of these battles. There's growth, there's learning, there's new opportunities, making room for the new. And he's reminding the divine masculine to have a sense of humor as he goes through this. All right, my friends, that's it for January for the Divine Masculine mind reading. And if for any of you guys wanting private readings, things are booking up, but please do reach out if you're up for it. The information is on my About page. And I hope that you guys, I always, if you have any questions, have any comments, would love to help answer them. And I hope this reading has been supportive for you. So until the next reading, in abundant love always, have a great January. Bye.